Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well and want to begin. First, I want to talk about our topic. Our topic for today will be the kite power. We will talk about it later. Now I want to introduce our group members. My name is Shakir Abdullayev. I will talk about what's the kite power systems, why do we need them. Then Suad Muradov will talk about how do they work and generate energy. After that, Ayan Gulzadeh will give information about are there any real cases and companies using them and offering services. And finally, Ramin Rustamov will conclude our presentation and talk about potential for application case for Azerbaijan. Now, let's start talking about the kite power system. What's kite power system? Kite power is a cost-effective renewable energy solution with a low environmental footprint. The inflatable wing and the traction tether are made from strong but flexible lightweight materials. In contrast to conventional wind turbines, this tensile structure is not obstructing the view. It's an ideal basis for a highly mobile wind energy system. The highway generator is positioned at ground level, which facilitates servicing and also minimizes structural forces. The direct force transmission into the ground station removes the energy for bending resistant foundations, which is particularly interesting for deep water offshore deployment. The technology demonstrator of Delft University of Technology uses a tail-operated airborne unit for the flight control of the kite, which can access altitudes far beyond the limit of conventional wind turbines. Wind at these altitudes is stronger and steadier, which increases capacity factors of the system to about 60%. Conventional wind turbines presently achieve values of 20-35%. Now let's talk about the higher yield. You see here the wind energy is harvested at higher altitudes where wind speeds and therefore electricity yields are significantly higher. You can see it from the graph as well. And let's move on to the advantages of the kite power. It's actually called great advantages of the kite power, and as you see from the picture that there are 6 advantages of kite power. First, it's lower cost, then it's less material, third, strong high winds, fourth, easy to transport and set up, fifth, easy to upgrade, and sixth, less environmental impact. And now my group mate Suat Muradov will continue.
Thank you, Shakir, for your introduction to kite power systems. Now let's find out how they work. First of all, we should know that they do not work as conventional wind turbines. So conventional wind turbines work at relatively lower altitudes. I mean, it is not as high as 30 or 50 meters. But in kite power systems, we have kites taking flight at least to the heights of 100 or 150 meters to generate stable movement of wind. So winds that are on surface or surface, they are not stable at all, and therefore our advantage is to use the wind that's blowing well above the ground, and that's the starting point for existing conditions for kite power system. So let's see how its mechanism works. So its mechanism consists of 3 main components. So we have ground station here, we have kite itself, and tether. So before, people always wanted to get the energy, to extract the energy from wind. But before turbines, we have actually thought of doing something like that. But we either had no deployable machines here, like stations here, or our tethers were not as strong to withstand the pressure and high speed blowing winds. in our case, now we have new technology that enables us always produce electricity, power from these types of systems, regardless of the high or lower speed of wind that we have. So what we do is we have two kites at the end of the tether, and what we do is we release it to the weather, to the higher altitudes of weather, troposphere. And how we generate electricity? So when it starts from a ground, and when it is accelerating towards the high altitudes in troposphere, it starts rotationary movement of the kite generates backward feedback into the ground station. In the station, that feedback, that response from the wind's power, from the wind strength that applies pressure to the tether, it turns that type of work into energy, and that energy is being reliably stored. And when there is not huge speed of wind in that altitude, we still have a lot of opportunities to get energy from it, because we can use now new approach. It is installing two kites instead of one. So when we have two kites, the regenerating kite, when one goes down, when we know what that wind can raise it, but whenever wind stops, it should also go down. But because of the technology that we have improved, and because we use two kites now, whenever another one starts falling, the other one, using technology, goes upward. So it is kind of loop, and it continues up until the point when wind again starts recurring and let's say reaccelerating the kite's working mechanism. So what is required here is continuously rotating kite, that when it reaches the tip, when it reaches the highest point, it again goes backwards to the starting position. And so far, I would say that it is the best energy type that I have ever met. And I think the working mechanism is very applicable to any point of the globe, and you can use it, you can deploy it everywhere. It doesn't require any infrastructure, it doesn't require anything at all that a human being wouldn't be able to make use of. So with these types of capacity to produce electricity, kite power systems should become a future way of generating power. Now I will give the floor to Ayan.
Thanks to Suad, I will give information about which companies and countries use kite power and offering services. According to the words of Langbanks, kite power systems take the best out of wind turbines and literally bring wind power to higher level as developing innovative and cost-effective technologies. Kites have been used for different tasks for many centuries, and it is investigating by the number of companies and research groups. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, who is investing billions in green technology, has said there is only 10 chance that kite power is the magic solution to the world's energy problems. Kite Power is a registered trademark of Dutch company developing airborne wind power systems. Kite Power Systems was founded in January 2016 by Jonas Peschel and Roland Schmel as a commercial spin-off from the Delft University of Technology's Airborne Wind Energy Research Group. The company is located in Netherlands. 22 most innovative companies in South Holland, and among 80 companies, the most innovative enterprises of the whole Netherlands, started to use kite power systems in 2017. One of the world's first commercial scale kite-driven power stations is set to be created near Stranraer in Scotland. The new power station believes that their systems could cut the price of offshore wind energy in half. Norwegian airborne wind energy company Kite Mill has bought the intellectual property assets of Scotland's Kite Power Systems (KPS). It's an emerging technology that uses tethered wings to harvest wind energy and convert it into electrical energy. SkySails. SkySail is a German company, develops and markets large towing kite systems for the propulsion of ships and for energy generation. NTS GmbH is also a German company developing X-Wind crosswind technology using railed cars that pull line that drives ground generator. Kite is Italian company, is working on several methods of generating electricity from kite systems. And I'll talk about the Mechanic company. The Mechanic Technologies is a California-based company that develops airborne wind turbines. Makani is a leader in the development of airborne wind power extraction systems. A major research and development project called Makani Power. And it is funded by Google.org, is investigating the use of kites in harnessing high-altitude wind currents to generate electricity. Many of Makani Power competitors have generators kept on the ground like the Italian company Kite. The electricity is transmitted to the ground via electrical cable within the kite's tether. Several patent applications have been made, some have been granted. And in December 2016, Makani operated for the first time a 600 kilowatt prototype with 28-meter wingspan. And Switzerland's company Twin Tank, let me show. Yes. The Switzerland company Tech has developed incredible energy harvesting kite and designed high-altitude solution to harvest wind power in places where wind turbines can't be built. And resembling the vintage block kite made famous by Wright brothers, the kite is connected to ground station and which collects the wind energy through tension reels. And this company, Tech, is still working out the kinks, but the strong and rigid kite has already proven the capacity to produce usable energy. And alongside energy reduction schemes and other renewables, this technology could contribute to helping us to end our addiction to climate-changing fossil fuels. And Kite Power is a growing team of Delft Technology University researchers and strong industry partners with a collective vision to reinvent wind energy. Kite Power makes communities, countries, companies, industries, and institutions like in remote locations like islands more independent from expensive fossil fuel imports. Now, Ramil Rustamov, my teammate, will talk about the potential energy in Azerbaijan.